Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be looking at the TOMY 1/10 scale DeLorean time machine, folks. It's going to be good. All right, as typical as when I do my unboxes and my reviews, I'm going to be filming this in a way for archival purposes, because I know folks, as the years go by, they tend to go back and revisit some of these videos to see what the actual unboxing looked like, how big it was, how much did it weigh, and such. Specifically the size dimensions, because I know there are so many manufacturers out there that have made their own version of the time machine DeLorean, and this is TOMY's first attempt, and it's worth documenting properly. The box art is okay. Measures about 12 inches and was it 23 inches in length and just 12 inches in height there. Boxes it's okay. It has that blueprint look and feel to it, powered by the flux capacitor. For you folks who are wondering, this is the Mark I DeLorean. There is no conversion included with this DeLorean, meaning that you won't be able to convert it to the Mark II of the DeLorean and the Mark III. Right off the bat, though, you get 6 batteries. That's a lot of batteries. Was not, I didn't think something like this would require this amount of batteries. You get four certificates in different languages, which I thought was different, right? You get the American version, French, and German, I believe is what the others do. Exclusive 1/10 scale car from the movie has been painstakingly replicated in every way to be the most impressive version of it. So I'll be the judge of that. Like I said, everybody takes a crack in making their own version of the DeLorean. And we'll see what TOMY has come up with. Flame effect, smoke effect. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, what sets this one apart is that it does have a smoke effect. It has the rear exhaust thrusters do shoot out smoke, and at the end of the video, we'll go ahead and play with that. You get the lightning rod attachment. Very cool. It's all plastic. There's no metal components on here. I don't know if it would have been required to have metal. I mean, it is a die-cast vehicle. I'd say like 80 to 90% of this vehicle is die-cast. It's heavy, folks. It's heavy. You get the syringe here for the smoke effect. This is for removal. This is not for the insertion of the smoke effect. You get Einstein here. Einstein's okay. When it comes to TOMY and figures of this sort, this is not their strong attribute here. What they're known for is more of a die-cast components. But I mean, for the 1/10 scale of Einstein, he's going to be inside the vehicle. I thought it was okay. I thought, if anything, the stopwatch should have been separate, not molded in with the actual body. But it's okay. You're buying it for the DeLorean. That little tube there is for the fuel, the oil for the smoke effect. Fire effect, it's animated. I don't know if I'm going to be using the fire effects in my display, but it's okay. Now, very well packaged. I'm just I'm inspecting it and so forth. It looks like the top of the DeLorean plutonium chamber has come off, but it's just a cap, so you can come in and off. Overall, looking at it, and I got the ruler again, and it measures, just like they said, close to, if you measure it from the tail fins there, it's close to 20 inches. Close to 20 inches. Well, actually, it's probably generous. It's probably 18 based off of that ruler. 19 if you want to squint and push your eyes and such. And very rigid, very well constructed, very heavy. It is, like I said, if I had to speculate, it's about 80-90% die-cast. The only plastic components are probably probably like the interior, dashboard, the flux capacitor, and the plastic capacitor components in the back, especially next to the plutonium chamber. Overall, I'm gonna confess to you, the color it feels off to me. This is not, You know, it's going to be the holy grail one day to the manufacturer who can actually create a realistic version of stainless steel, because as much as I love Hot Toys, they haven't been able to pull it off either. They have not. I went downstairs and I took it because stainless steel, at least what I expect of stainless steel, is pretty much what I have in my kitchen, my stainless steel fridge. And I just took this photo here just for comparison. It's one of those things that I can, it just seems like it's a holy grail. And this is also one of the reasons too I avoided the NECA DeLorean, because it looked like shit. It really did. It honestly really, really did. Now, overall, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. And the attention to detail is by far, I mean, it is phenomenal. They went above and beyond. Again, it's definitely a paint sheen to the body, of the exterior of the body. Can it be corrected? Maybe so. But again, the color, the stainless steel color is just slightly off. And when you or anybody who's watching this and you have a stainless steel appliance, it's that stainless steel. That's what was used in the original construction of the DeLorean. It's that formula. It's that metal. So again, now I know Blitzway is going to be doing a die-cast 1/6 scale DeLorean, so maybe perhaps they're going to be able to crack the code, crack that genome on making, being able to capture that true 1/6 scale, that true stainless steel look and feel. The ball has been thrown into Blitzway. But overall, this is probably the only negative I'm giving Tomy. But the attention to detail, that being said, it's there. The paint application, it's other than the body, everything else is passable, easily passable. I don't know if they should have added the cold effect to the rear thrusters. You can kind of see like they frosted it. It gives me that Diamond Select feel. It should be black. It should just be solid black rear thrusters in the back. You don't overdo it with that frost effect. It's not needed, folks. It's not. But again, that, the ship has sailed. It is what it is. For backing this, for taking that leap of faith, it was $299. It was $300, and I believe they collected. I believe shipping was free, but tax was collected. So, flux bands, you can kind of see it underneath, and certain colors just seem a little bit louder than what I'm used to, like those orange exhaust ports in the back. They just seem a little bit too fluorescent. The red capacitors are good. The yellow cap to the plutonium chamber is good. The rear lights are good. The license plate is good. Everything else seems to be good. Just certain colors, like that orange exhaust, seems to be a bit off. The green tubings on the right side, the color seems to be slightly off. So it's just one of those things where I've just been collecting the vehicle for so many years, so just a good chunk of my life. You know what colors to expect. So when you get someone else into the arena that wants to take a crack shot at it, it's just. But again, I guess an excuse can be made because of its scale. This is a 1/10 scale vehicle, so there's only so much you can do, I guess. I don't know if that's an excuse or a pass. I don't know. Everything else seems. I mean, they're able to capture that detail. Overall, let's move forward. Let's, you know what, folks? Let's look underneath the vehicle. Underneath the vehicle can tell us a lot. This was so important to me because as a toy manufacturer, you can hide certain things underneath the vehicle. You can omit detail. You can add detail. And I'll give Tomy credit here where they were able to add that extra detail underneath the vehicle. What I was looking for were the hover converted lights. Potentially, maybe they were going to use this for a Mark II for hover conversion, but no, underneath this chassis here, this is Mark I components here. So there is no evidence here that this vehicle was ever intended to move forward into a Mark II. So the amount of batteries too is pretty wild. I don't know why. Well, They could have added a battery pack. 6 batteries times 1.5, so this sucker runs on 9 volts. That's a lot of power. I'm assuming it's needed to run the smoke effect. But yeah, no rechargeable options or anything on that. I decided to put it on a scale here. 7.5 pounds, well, close to 7.5 pounds. Just to kind of show you, for its size, it's just under 19 inches in length, and it weighs, close to 7.5 pounds. And then I'll move it over to ounces. 118 ounces for you folks out there who are on that metric system. And of course, I'm gonna compare it. I'm gonna put it right next to the 1/6 scale Hot Toys, just so you folks can kind of see what it looks like. And again, even though the Hot Toys it's all plastic, I feel that their paint application does a lot better job in capturing that stainless steel effect. Even though it's not stainless steel, it matches a little bit better to the stainless steel effect.
Oh, shit. That is friggin' cool. I'm reading the instructions here, and it says to push the buttons here, here, and here. So there's 3 different buttons here. There's 3 buttons. 1, 2, and you touch the license plate. Again, this is, they sent updates on what they were doing, on what the engineering team was doing, but this is such a wonderful surprise. Touch sensor buttons. So you touch the plate and it turns on the time circuits inside, and that's pretty freaking wild. And then touching it right here activates the plutonium chamber. I'm assuming this is for the smoke effect. And then the other one activates the flux bands. So flux band and the smoke effect are controlled up here. I'm going to show it to you right now. You would touch this and you can see the plutonium chamber activates. That's a cool effect. They get points for that from me. Plutonium chamber being activated and it's glowing like that, radioactive. That's awesome. That is awesome. And then the flux bands are, oh, what is that? Oh, I was not expecting that. It just threw smoke. I haven't even filled the chamber yet. Ooh, wow. I did not know that was going to happen. And then I'm assuming there was a little bit of oil residue during the factory. They were probably testing it out because I haven't added anything to it. By the way, this is an oil-based fog system. I don't know if they should have added an oil-based fog system. Not only did they add an oil-based fog system, but they didn't even include the actual fog solution so that you can test it out and play with it. So you do have to probably go to Party City or something like that, Spencer's, to actually get the fog solution. The whole fog effect, when they had announced it during the campaign, it was one of those things that it made me wonder if they were deciding whether or not they could pull it off instead of sitting around and debating on whether or not they should, because most collectors are so freaking paranoid. They're not going to want to fill this chamber with oil or the fog solution. It's an oil-based fog solution. They're going to be paranoid. We don't know how long these type of mechanics are going to last. They essentially pulled a kind of a jazz ink maneuver, meaning it sounds cool on paper, but implementing it could have serious ramifications down in the future. Touching the flux band here, and you can see the flux band activates and such. And then you can't see, but when I touch the plate, it does activate the circuit. So I'm gonna do a little bit of I don't want to lift it up here. Touching the license plate, and I just love how it glows. It glows really nice. And then there's different, when you touch it again, the lights inside change. I'm assuming that's the time travel effect. And I'll position the camera forward in a second, and then it turns it off. So three different taps. Set in 1, 2, time travel, and then turns it off. This is that's the plutonium chamber, right? And I'm going to leave it on, and it's probably going to smoke again. And then the flux bands. So I think they get an A+. This thing glows. There it is again. Yeah. That's a cool effect. That is a very, very cool effect. A plus on that. A plus on that 100%. And the flux bands are gorgeous. They really give that glow hue. So I'm going to do a little bit of photography here in a second. Let me show you the front. The flux capacitor is gorgeous. I hope the camera is really catching the glow on it, and then touching it again. That is the time effect there, the time travel effect. And then the flux bands. Yeah, A plus on the electronics. The time circuits light up. The gauges in there light up too. That's wild. Look at this. I wonder if you guys can see this. Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. Is there any lights on the... So there's no lights on the ceiling here. But man, oh man. That is cool. So I guess the flux bands turn off. So these two back settings are on a time delay. It looks like they just turn themselves off. After a second, because oh man. Let me see if I can get a close-up shot of this. And I remember that I actually have fog solution left over from the Justice League Batmobile. The Mattel Ultimate Batmobile from the Justice League actually included a bottle of fog solution. So I was able to, I guess, fuel it up, and you can see now what the effect would look like with it. Give it a second here. I do love how it kind of smokes out of the plutonium chamber, though. It's pretty cool. Hopefully you can kind of see it. There you go. You need some more fluid, maybe? Yeah, it's coming in. Whew. That is some smoke. Hopefully you see it. Kind of a weak effect, in my opinion. Yeah, not much of a smoke. All right, I've emptied out the bottle here, so... Oh, there it is. There it is. There's my smoke. Holy smack. All right. Now we're talking. More. I want more smoke. Ah, there we go. Get that. Look at that. That is cool. All right, now you gotta fill this up. You can't just add like a...
So overall, I'm gonna rate the car. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it maybe an 8.5, but it's fluctuating out of a scale from 1 to 10. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. And I know what you folks are thinking. Oh, he's gonna ding it because it doesn't resemble the stainless steel. It's not just that. The stainless steel, yeah, paint application, it's always a challenge. It always gets everybody. I'm gonna ding it on the actual power source. No USB-C option, no rechargeable battery pack. It eats up a lot of batteries. And here's the thing too, I'm gonna have to remove these batteries. I mean, to avoid any type of leakage. And I'm also very skeptical on the smoke effect as far as the components, right? Is it, if I forget to remove the oil, is it gonna corrode? Is it gonna damage? Is it just gonna clog it up? So it's probably that. The power source and the stainless steel paint application is probably what's going to give me where I'm going to give it an 8.5. But overall, I'm happy. I mean, they did a bang up job on this. It's for its scale and the attention to detail. It is still a worthy piece if you're a Back to the Future fan, to add to your collection. Like, subscribe, leave your comments below. Folks, as always, thanks for watching.